Okay guys, so I'm about 5 minutes into the first mission of Pathfinder Adventure Card Game, or PACG if you know your acronyms, and I just figured it's better to bring you guys in now because the game is explaining everything far better than I ever could. This is Rise of Runelords, or Rise of the Runelords. It's a digital card game version of the super popular tabletop game, and in this opening sequence we're kind of learning all the nuts and bolts as two hired mercenaries called Amiko here and Oric. So the general idea in this scenario is that some cultists have been stirring up trouble on the Lost Coast. They're worshipping this monster called the Sandpoint Devil. This is my first look in at combat. So this Goblin Commando has just gone all up in my face. And I've got to discard a card here because I've only allowed to hold 6 cards in my deck. I'm going to hit forward. This is very much, if you've played tabletop card games in real life, this is like a digital port. It's trying to get that experience and pull it onto tablet. This can only be played on iOS and Android tablets. You're not going to be able to get this on your phone, kind of because you just need that bigger screen. There's so much going on. You just need that bigger space. So apparently it's time to fight. All combat checks start as a check using strength or melee skills. It's like punching the enemy. All right, so I've got to choose my cards carefully then. So you can see we've got this dice that rolls up, and if I just flick it, it's like I roll it in real life. Cool, so I think I inflicted some damage. Some cards allow you to reduce some or all damage. Let's have a look. Do I need to discard another card? Oh, no, it's my magic leather armor. So if I recharge that, does that mean that I can reduce some armor? Yes. All right, so at the top left-hand corner, where it says farmhouse, that's my location card. So the whole game is based around this kind of idea that there's 3 different locations. Each location is made up of a deck of cards. They're made up of either Bane cards, that's your monsters, your enemies, you've got traps and different things that you don't really want to get involved with. And you've got loads of boon cards, so that's your items. And this is the Sandpoint Devil! Interesting. So, because in each of the locations, as I was just about to say, in the deck of cards, there will be hidden the villain. The villain is basically you complete the scenario by taking out the villain card. It's the ultimate baddie that you're trying to defeat in the scenario. But you never know which deck he's going to be in. In this particular one, at the beginning of this scenario, you didn't see it, but there was 3 different decks that we could choose from to go and battle in. This particular one had the main baddie. And like all good RPGs, he's a giant dragon. Of course he is. Bloody horse demon thing. So we're going to try, I think, is it time to battle him? No, we found the villain here at the farmhouse. This is what I mean about the decks. Do you see the 2 circular locations? These are the different kind of map points. It's very much, I kind of like how it's combining this traditional card-placed tabletop gameplay with, if you've played any RPG, whether it's, Baldur's Gate or on console looking at Dragon Age, it's that really familiar RPG elements. So it looks like the Sandpoint Devil, if you win the battle, your location will close, but the Sandpoint Devil will escape to an open location. So essentially we find ourselves chasing the villain all around different locations. You can also, the whole idea is you've got to corner them and make sure that they can't escape. So we've basically got to close all of these locations before we can win the scenario. Rise of the Runelords was actually meant to launch in autumn 2015, but it's been pushed back and pushed back. Now it's set to launch on March 29th, and it's going to be free to play. Well, this scenario anyway. This is like the intro scenario, bringing in all of the different, elements that you need to learn. Any scenario after this is going to cost you some cold hard cash. But this is good. This is a good introduction to exactly what it is we need to do to actually play the game. Okay, so we're moving to another location and we're splitting up, interestingly, I think to cover more ground and to corner the Sandpoint Devil. When facing the villain, characters at other locations can temporarily close them and cut off escape routes. If the villain is cornered and defeated, you win. It's interesting because it feels like there's this kind of team-based element, obviously, you know, when you're splitting up your party. The tabletop version was you played it multiplayer. I think it was about 4 players. This digital port is not going to be a multiplayer game. It's very much solo play. Looks like we roll the dice. Sandpoint Devil's going back into the shuffle card and he's disappeared. But we've closed this location and banished any remaining cards in the deck. So all of the location cards that were up in the top left-hand corner, we've done the farmhouse, can tap this red arrow to the right and move on. So to leave your location, tap move. I think this is that blue button. Miko's acrobatics. Oh yeah, I wonder if I can show you guys. Yeah, so this is actually quite a good introduction to the characters. These are your character sheets. So in it, I've got a cards list here. This is kind of like your inventory. So each character carries a deck. These are the cards that Amiko holds. She's a bard. So she's got quite a lot of spells, quite low armor, but a few items, a lot of blessing cards. Auric, meanwhile, he's a warrior, a fighter. So he's got absolutely no spells, but far more weapons in his inventory, far more armor, and just kind of like a little bit more of a bashy kind of character. If we go into powers, this is like your traditional and RPG elements. It's your special cards, your special moves. So in battle, Auric can do shield bashes and weapon masteries, but Amiko can do kind of bardic performances. She can inspire her party, and the typical role-playing game stuff. Skills are also, this kind of shows you if you've played dice-based games, it kind of means that the numbers represent the dice next to the skill names, and they're what you'll roll when you're attempting checks. Cool. All right, I think, to be honest, actually, that's probably all I've got time for. That is a super, super, super quick introduction into Rise of the Rune Lords. Like I said, this game it's based on the tabletop game that was actually initially based off Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're into your tabletop games, worth checking out when it launches on March 29th. It will be free to play, so you can just have a quick go and a taster session of what I've been playing here. Then any other scenarios that you want to pay for after this are going to cost you some cold hard cash. That's it from me. Let me know what you think of the game in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.